West Ham fans, we are being framed. That sounds completely over the top, completely melodramatic, but it's true. We are being framed in a campaign by the mainstream media who seem to be so cross that David Moyes has been allowed to leave, that they're reframing the reasons that a lot of West Ham fans wanted him to go. We're being reframed, we're being lied about, and it's happening everywhere, irrespective of TV channel, irrespective of what radio station, irrespective of what newspapers. To be fair, the newspapers are a little less culpable than the radio stations and TV stations, largely because they've got journalists working for them, because what appears to be the case, in the main part, it's the former footballers who are most annoyed about David Moyes. Before I start, let me just get one thing absolutely straight here. Back in February, David Moyes said he didn't know if he wanted to sign a new contract at West Ham or not. West Ham, all they've done is not renewed his contract, one which he said he wasn't sure that he was going to sign. Yet this seems to have triggered all manner of outbursts and lies against West Ham fans. I mean, the most recent ones yesterday were Paul Merson and Chris Sutton, but you could almost pick any. They are lining up to lay into West Ham fans. And what they're doing is yours and my gripes that we had about what's really been the last 18 to 24 months of football. That's being reframed. We are now being told, so as the mainstream media can make their arguments, so as they can call West Ham fans unrealistic, ungrateful, undignified and entitled, they're reframing the arguments. They're telling you what you think. So as far as Chris Sutton is concerned, for instance, he thinks that we're all asking to play football like Pep Guardiola. You keep hearing this stuff all the time. West Ham think they want to be a top 4 team. I'll tell you something now. I don't know how many people are going to watch this video. I don't know, okay? But what I do know is, over a large period of time on Hammers Chat, we've had thousands and thousands and thousands of comments. Not once, I can't remember one. I go through the comments every day. Has anyone with any seriousness ever said to me, West Ham should have top 4 football? That's just not been said. It is completely fabricated. Yet for some reason, the mainstream media can make this stuff up, apply it to West Ham fans, invent an argument that we're not even making, and then use that invented argument to attack us. It's completely and utterly out of order. And these people should know better. Absolutely. Because, and I'll tell you why they do it, this whole entitled thing. If they try and pretend that actually we want to play like Manchester City and we think we deserve Champions League, then it means they can call us entitled. And quite frankly, yesterday's arguments from Chris Sutton and from Paul Merson were absolutely disgraceful, because the truth matters, right? The truth matters. Surely they should be addressing what West Ham fans are actually saying. And as I say, if they're under any doubt, read any of the comments under any of the videos for the last year. Go and have a look. Good luck to you. Because I'll tell you what, if you can find one that says West Ham are entitled to top 4, I'll tell you what, I'll be able to show you 50,000 that say completely and utterly different. But the truth matters. It matters entirely. Otherwise, anyone can say anything, can't they? I mean, I could say that. I could say that about Paul Merson, can't I? Paul Merson thinks he could do a better job than Jeff Stelling used to do and should be running Soccer Saturday and be the head of Sky Sports. And Paul Merson will have every right to say, whoa, hold on, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm just, no, I'm just happy doing my little thing. Well, it doesn't matter, does it? Because the rules have changed. I could turn around and say anything I like about Chris Sutton and about his ambition. And actually, talking about ambition, when did this whole concept come in? These idiots think that they can somehow curtail people's ambition. Be careful what you wish for. What is that, a mantra? What is that, just for football, or is that something do you apply that in life? Do you tell that to your children, to tell them not to strive well, to achieve more at school? What about someone that's in the workplace? Be careful what you wish for. When did this come about? Let me just make the point here, by the way. Not that I am claiming that we should be top 4 or anything near it, but to compare us perennially with Charlton, which is what I do. Charlton under Alan Kirbyshire, you're having a laugh. They just moved back to their own stadium in the Valley. It's not even remotely comparable. West Ham have got the second highest attendance in the bloody country, for goodness sake. We honestly, it's absolutely preposterous. But forget about that. Deal with the facts. in 2024, because what we're dealing with here is concern. And I would rather not be doing this, because I thought that David Moyes should probably be afforded a dignified exit. There we go, that word again, a dignified exit, just to carry on. But what happens is, by these people who claim to be outraged at the treatment of David Moyes, somehow they're the ones keeping it going. By lying about us, they force us to defend ourselves. And I'll tell you what they do is they deal with none of it. Here's why West Ham fans are concerned and why everything might not be as hunky-dory. What did Paul Merson say? Paul Merson said, he won you a trophy. So what? So what? I mean, well, brilliant. Great. But it's been crap recently. It's been absolutely crap. At what point does the trophy, does 70 goals conceded not count start the trophy? Look, West Ham are in the bottom three. In 2024, West Ham are in the bottom three. Now, you could take that as a snippet and say, oh, you were ninth. Well, hold on a second. We flirted with relegation pretty much all season. If it wasn't for that Conference League win, a great Conference League win, which we're all grateful for, much as the mainstream media would like to say that we don't care and we're ungrateful, we are grateful for that. We won a trophy. We're really happy. Great night out. Great run. Some really, really good times. And the season before, loved Sevilla. What a great game. Sevilla at home, what a great game that was. We've really, really enjoyed it. But at the same time, we've been pretty crap for about 24 months now. David Moyes did an exceptional job during COVID. Exceptional. He adjusted to the parameters of lockdown football. He was far sharper than most. He was brilliant. Okay? Brilliant. Credit where credit's due. While people like Jurgen Klopp were scratching around, didn't know what to do. Chris Wilder looked like the next big thing right before lockdown. So many of these managers could not handle it. Moyes was on the ball. He was on the button. Really, really good. Okay? Credit where credit's due. But since then, it's been a little bit shaky with some good bits in between, right? Here's how it is. 2024, West Ham are in the bottom three. In 2024, it's not, by the way, it's not February, all right? It's May. In the last 17 games, we've won three. 70 goals conceded, which is even more than the Moyes basically got when he took Sunderland down. And we still got to play Man City and Luton. Somebody said on the radio earlier, it'd be funny if West Ham can beat Man City and keep the title race alive. Have you seen us? Have you seen us? We concede 4, 5, 6 goals all the time. All the time. It's awful. David Moyes in the last 4 years has spent £80 million. £80 million on central defenders. And we still have the worst defence. We really do. Take away those bottom three teams, we have got the worst defence. Well, actually, I think it's something like in 2024, it's only Sheffield United got a worse defence. But as I say, you don't just need to take the snippet of now, of since the new year, since January the 1st. We were battling relegation all our season pretty much. We have a big cross section. Basically, David Moyes built a team, won a trophy, and now it's the end of the team. We've got the oldest squad in the Premier League. It's time for a rebuild. For West Ham fans to be concerned at the moment is perfectly normal. At the start of last season, on Hammer's Chat, on this very channel, at the start of this season, Mark Warburton came onto our channel. Mark Warburton said he had to leave West Ham to stop himself falling out and protect his friendship with David Moyes because they had such a differing philosophy on football. He was going to fall out of his mate. He came on here, he said, he didn't just say it, and he said it on Talk Sport, said it on everything. He wasn't just the only coach to walk out. Paul Nevin walked out. Paul Nevin, who was the set-piece coach for England and West Ham, he walked out. David Moyes didn't even replace him. We've gone all season without a set-piece coach. Hasn't shown, has it? Blimey. But we are witnessing the decline in a team. This is not about West Ham fans wanting top four and thinking we should have Pep Guardiola. It's not, no matter how much they want to reframe it. It is clear, David Moyes, even though we need to do a rebuild, he will not work with Tim Steidten. I mean, just look at January. Look at what happened. Tim Steidten's guy wasn't bought. Instead, Moyes just pushed until we got Calvin Phillips. He was bloody useless. Phillips was useless. I'm sorry to say that. I don't want to be set A being mean to anyone. But even as me saying it useless, I'm being far kinder than the pundits are being to us, who are just outright lying about us. Constantly lying about West Ham fans. It's like a vendetta. It's a campaign. I don't know what's wrong with these people. I really don't. I mean, they talk about signings. It's not just Calvin Phillips either. I mean, it breaks your heart to look at Scamacca, to look at how good he is, look at his stats. He's brilliant. David Moyes couldn't make him work. He's not the only one. We hemorrhage his money. And these pundits, on the one hand, they'll talk about PSR, they'll talk about financial fair play. They will talk about how the modern game, you've got to be a bit more prudent. Yet in the same sentence, I don't know why they're getting rid of David Moyes. Well, he hemorrhages money. Loads of it. Don't know whether it's Vlasic, Sebastian Haller, or Scamacca or anyone else. It's terrible. It's terrible. For West Ham to be able to meet in the future profit and sustainability regulations, if David Moyes stayed, he would have had to have relinquished that role and handed it over to someone that doesn't lose as much money. It really is as simple as that. He can't do it. He won't do it. It's not the only thing. It's just part of the modern game. He can't adapt to it. He's not adapted to the 5 substitutions. He can't do it. He even said a couple of weeks ago that rather than there being 5 substitutions and big squads, he would like it if it was legislated and it went back. He thinks we should have less. So rather than him adapting to it and using these 5 substitutions, when he constantly gets outwitted by these younger coaches who are just spinning all these patterns of play around him. Everyone does it. Everyone does it. And I'd be more than willing to argue this in detail with any one of these Muppets. I really would. Pick your game. I'm willing to go into any of them, really. And what happens is David Moyes would get picked apart. They'd come out at half-time. They'd something different. He'd sit there, honestly, scratching his head, not knowing what to do. Not making substitutions. His answer, what to learn, do more substitutions? No. What he would like to do is go back to the old way. It's not even my words. They're his words. This man cannot adapt to what's going on. He has been a good manager. He's had a very fair career. He really has. He's worked for 25 years. He's won a trophy. Well done. Okay, he's done really, really well. And I don't even like saying it 'cause it makes it sound like I'm ungrateful. I'm not ungrateful. I am pleased. I'm delighted with it. But these people lying about us constantly, reframing what they think our argument is, addressing none of the parts that I've just said. To tell us about the defence. I mean, the person the other day who was going on, they were from Brentford or something, and they said, West Ham should be keeping hold of David Moyes. And somebody said, would you take him at Brentford? Oh, no, not above Thomas Frank. And actually, when you go through it and start going through the league, there ain't too many clubs in the Premier League who would take David Moyes. And I'm sorry to say that. I really am. I really, really am. West Ham, by any metric, and when I say metric, it's quite clear in football. They're points, it's form, it's goals scored, it's goals conceded, it's age of the squad. It's all that stuff. By any metric, West Ham are a team in decline, an older team who are in decline. It needs a complete and massive overhaul. I'm not going to sit here and go through every single player because you know them, because you're West Ham fans. You know who's likely to go next season. You know who's out of contract. You know who's too old. There are loads of them. There are loads and loads and loads of players. We're looking at 7 or 8 players coming in, and we still need some from the youth team. David Moyes not the man to do that. He's just not the man to do it at all. He cannot adapt. And I'm so sorry that they have not addressed any of these issues. And the point of the matter is, we get pretty much told, stop dreaming, get realistic. But this is not the dream that we were sold. We've moved from our ground. We've gone from a club that had 34,000 when the stadium was full, to next season, the safety certificate has gone in for 66,000. We're already at 62 at the moment. 66,000. We have fans walking out of games. We have empty seats. We've got a really, really low uptake on season ticket sales for next season. David Moyes is not the man to fill a 60 to 70,000 seater stadium. He's not. Don't just take my word for it. Ask Man United. There's no clamour from Man United to ask him back. There's really not. But again, we get told, well, you should be grateful. You should be grateful. You're deluded. What, you think you should be at the top? No, we don't. That's what you're saying. You're saying that and you're applying it to us. I'll tell you what, I wonder if we should start saying some things as well. But you don't do it because it's the indecent thing to do. But they're not decent. They're really not. And their arguments are completely and utterly flawed. And sorry, I know I've been ranting for a long time, but this has really annoyed me. Can you tell? Let's just finish off with Richard Keys. I mean, I need to go a little bit easy on him because it's not right. Some it's very, very wrong. Because I tell you what, Merson, Shearer, Sutton, Brazil, they should really know better. Basically, their love for David Moyes, and listen, they probably turn around and say, I haven't got any particular love for David Moyes. Oh, I'll tell you what, your words betray you. They really do. Your discontent, your disdain for West Ham fans, it comes through really, really thick and hard, and it's so obvious. So obvious, the fact that you're lying about West Ham fans. It's a disgrace. They're all a disgrace. Richard Keys is a different beast altogether. Richard Keys, the former Sky presenter, Richard Keys, and it's no slight on Sky, they sacked him anyway, right? He has called West Ham's director of football, Tim Steidten, let me get this right, I've written it down, a sneaky weasel. He said, words of the effect, and I paraphrase, but I'm close enough. You wouldn't want Tim Steidten in the trenches with you, would you? He's a sneaky weasel. I've worked with someone like him before. Lopetegui, he'll be off soon the moment he gets a chance. That's what he said. This is a journalist. This is a journalist. This is somebody who has studied the written and spoken words. It was full of spite, full of nastiness. By any metric, what these people are doing, I don't know why I keep saying metric, but by any measurement, they're trolling. These people are trolling us. Yet because they're journalists or presenters, it's not called trolling. It's exactly what it is. They're a bunch of wrong-uns, I'm telling you. To be so disingenuous, to lie in that way is disgraceful. Richard Keys, what are you doing? I'm saying that like he's watching this. Of course he's not watching this. But what a mean, horrible, nasty thing to say. Tim Steidten is a sneaky weasel. Let me just explain exactly what's going on here. This makes less sense than the whole be careful what you wish for, which is just a ridiculous statement. Do wish, to say, don't listen to these plonkers. Do wish for something. Strive for something. Get that promotion. Do better at school. Do wish. Don't be careful what you wish for. Wish for stuff and go and get it. Their messaging, honestly, it is a message from a poor message from a bunch of misguided people. This makes even less sense. Tim Steidten is the director of football. In any other industry, he has an HR role. His job is to recruit people. Recruit people. That's what he's got to do. He's been mandated with going and finding David Moyes' successor. So let's just get this right. David Moyes has said that he doesn't know if he's going to sign a new deal. West Ham have got a director of football who has been told, go out and do your due diligence on a load of replacements. Give us a list of replacements. He's doing his job. It's nothing illegal. There's nothing sneaky about it at all. And he's going the same way that he's got to go and find other coaches. He's got to go and find some players. Left winger would be nice, please, Tim. He's got to go and do these things. Yet the disgust that there is towards West Ham, honestly, I don't know what we've done to deserve such bile and such hatred. But that's what it is. I mean, those are really, really strong words. I actually feel sorry for Tim. I mean, to be fair, he's not been on mainstream TV for quite a while. Possibly, Tim's a young man. Possibly Tim doesn't know who it is. It's a long time ago since they were on mainstream TV, Andy Gray and Richard Keys. But if he has heard it, and I'm sure he has, his video won't help, then he's going to be thinking, what? I'm just doing my job, mate. I'm just doing my job. And the thing is, and Gio made this point, he made it, so well yesterday. David Moyes took the West Ham job twice when other people were in employment. Pellegrini and Bilic. And Richard Keys even tweeted about one of them. I think it was a tweet, was something like that. Was it something along the lines of, oh, Bilic has gone, Pellegrini's gone, oh, I know a good man for the job. What? It is double standard madness. Madness. Anyway, probably look, I've gone mad. 21-minute rant. There you go. You can't trust these people. I'll tell you something, though. Because this is our job and because this is what we do, a lot of people often say, oh, well, don't watch it. Don't watch it. I don't have that luxury, right? Honestly, when I used to be a plumber, if something annoyed me on the radio, I could switch it off. But when these people are discussing West Ham, this is my job. It's what we do. So what we do at Hammers Chat, we do West Ham stuff, right? So you've got to listen to it. You need to know what people are saying about West Ham. You need to keep your finger on the pulse. I've got to tell you, I switched off. I absolutely switched off. I switched off Sky Sports. Sorry, I switched off Talk Sport. And I made no attempt to go and look at that BBC stuff where I knew Chris Sutton was doing his stuff as well. I thought I can't listen to this anymore. It was a proper smear campaign against West Ham fans who are being framed and being told they have opinions that we don't even bloody have.